will take you up to 4 o'clock right here on Sacramento Sports Leader ESPN 1320. You're not excited for the Dolphins this year? Because we got to talk Niners later on.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later.
All right. Very good.
Shout out Minka Fitzpatrick. Welcome back. Whatever, man.
So, a quick update on the Jonathan Kuminga thing that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Our very own James Ham said he would be shocked if Jonathan Kuminga was not on the Kings by the end of the weekend. It's Monday. Jonathan Kuminga is not on the Kings.
Take a lap, James. No, I'm just kidding. He's chilling. Summer's all right now.
So that's why he's not here.
Yeah, we sent him on vacation.
No. Hope James has a safe flight if he's listening.
Shout out, James.
But I can't decide what the Kings are doing with Jonathan Kuminga.
What do you mean?
Is this a player that they scoped the market and went, man, nobody's got money for restricted free agents. The Warriors definitely don't want that guy anymore. He definitely doesn't want to be there. So we'll make this super low ball offer and see if we can get the Warriors to bite. And they didn't. Yet, it still seems like they're kind of waiting on doing anything else until this Kaminga situation clears up.
Yeah.
There's not any real urgency from Golden State. So it seems like the Kings really want Jonathan Kaminga if their low ball offer got rejected and they're still thinking about it.
Yeah, the way I see it too, I think they still think they have a shot at him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine. It sounds like the Wizards are in.
That was a thing until it wasn't, I think, because they traded for Cam Whitmore and gave up 2 seconds, and everyone just kind of had the general thought where it's like, oh, they're out now. Like, the Wizards connection happened before that, though.
So, it seems to me like the Kings only want Jonathan Kaminga, or I don't think they only want Jonathan Kaminga at the Devin Carter, Saric, and a second-round pick price. I think that was their first offer.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a weird dynamic here because I don't think Golden State, as much as they don't want to have him anymore and as much as he doesn't want to be there anymore, they're not, like the phrase we used earlier, they're not going to give him away for pennies.
Mm.
I think they're in a position where they're going, hey, if Devin Carter, Dario Saric in a second is the move, or 2 seconds or whatever it was, is the move, then we'll just keep him, sign him to some kind of short-term deal and try and figure it out.
Okay, so isn't that like just essentially what we were talking about earlier with the Kings?
Yes.
And I guess my thing would be like because the way it seems with the Warriors, like him and the Warriors just don't fit together. Him and Steve Kerr, whoever you want to put it together, from what I've seen. And like, is he gonna, like, you're gonna pay him his money or whatever? Is he gonna get regular rotation minutes too, though? Or
probably you pick up where you left off.
You just figure it out, because like my thing is like you're gonna have to have him out there on the court, even though everyone knows you don't love the fit there, and it's just like, how are you gonna build up value that way?
Okay, but try and put yourself in Golden State shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather give him away for nothing, ostensibly nothing, or would you rather do what you're talking about?
I think
if you're Golden State, would you rather try and play it out
and
see if he can rebuild value, or are you trading him for Devin Carter? What amounts to Devin Carter?
See, you know me, not the biggest Devin Carter fan and all that stuff. It just depends on how they view Devin Carter, because if I'm the Warriors or whatever, and just me, Jesse Top, be like, yeah, I'm cool off of that deal for right now.
Right.
Like, I think looking at it, though, you do need to negotiate with the Kings still, because I don't know how beneficial it is to keep him on your team this season and all that stuff after paying him. Because like I said, I just don't know how you're going to be able to build up a market for him again. I think you have
to play him.
Well, yeah, you do, but it's just, we've seen how Steve Kerr is and all that. I just wonder if you're able to get maybe a first-round pick out of the Kings for him at this point, and boom, there's the deal right there.
If that's what's holding it up, just include the first. One first to get a guy that talented? Like, yeah, why not? And the salary match? Sure.
Yeah.
I don't.
It just all depends, though. Like, is Scott Perry just kind of waiting on them, kind of just calling their bluff right now?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's the thing. There's the whole behind-the-scene negotiations where it's like, we don't know exactly what's going on.
So is this the right? But would this be? I'm interested in your thoughts on this as a neutral observer. Is this the right move to center their entire offseason around?
Yeah, what else for the Kings?
Yeah.
Yes. What else? Yeah, you're not doing anything else. Like this is like making something out of nothing right here for me.
So and I guess where do Kings fans land? 916-909-1320, 916-909-1320. It's the Elk Grove Kids Hotline. TC and Daniel, I see you guys stand by momentarily. Would it be like a failure of an offseason if you don't wind up with Jonathan Kaminga now?
No, because this is still a difficult deal to pull off. But if you're able to get Kaminga here for, I guess, that deal or a little bit something more than that, that's...
So it's not the player, it's the swindle.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit of both.
It's the getting the player at way below his value.
Yeah, because like the way I see Kaminga and all that, like I think you bring in Kaminga. We talked about it with DeRozan and Levine, and
it doesn't work.
Depends on Sabonis. Well, it's not that. It's just more so like I talked about how I don't see like a future with these guys beyond a couple of seasons. Mm-hmm. I see that with Kaminga on the Kings. Like you throw in Kaminga there, you add sign Keegan to his contract. Like you're starting to work with a future now finally. So if you're able to bring in Kaminga, like I'd love that move 1,000%. And like I don't think you're gonna really have to offer up much because there's not much of a market out there for him. Like if you have to throw in a first round pick for Kaminga, go ahead and do that. Like it seems like the players going out for the player coming in is really solid deal if you're able to pull it off. And it's like if you don't, it's like if you don't want to, like you're asking if you want to hang your whole offseason on like a Kaminga deal, like who else would you like at this point? Like who else is even out there for you? I don't think this is making a deal to make a deal either. Like I think this pushes you forward a bit. I'm not saying, we got they got the number one player finally. Oh, the Kings are here. They got their guy to build around, but there is a vision now finally. Like we talked about building that bridge to somewhere. Well, you added a piece to it finally.
Let's get to the Elk Grove Kid Talk line. TC is on the Elk Grove Kid Talk line at 916-909-1320. What you got, TC?
Yes, sir. What's up with my two bros? Jesse.
Chilling, man.
What's up, TC?
Hey, just vibing. Hey, listen. So, I got three things. A little bit about soccer, football, and basketball. So, soccer. That game was wild last night. That was a good game, bro.
Yeah.
I know how it went down. That was fired up. I watched the whole thing. As far as and then A's and Giants. I'm not really big on baseball, bro. Give me a minute, Joe. I'm not really big on baseball, but I don't have nothing against baseball, right? Baseball is a sport. I love it, right? Just not super into it and all that. But can y'all? Am I tripping? Right, because I know you were A's fan, Kyle. Right.
I love that for you, Joe. You just pot him down, just get him out of here after.
What's going on?
TC's cutting.
He's cutting out.
Oh, he's cutting out.
Yeah. That wasn't you.
It was. I messed with him at first, but no, he's actually cutting out.
TC back.
Try a different line. Call us back. Let's get to Daniel on the Elk Grove Kid Talk on 916-909-1320. What's up, Daniel?
What's up, fellas?
Chilling.
What's up, Daniel?
Hey, so it seems like a foregone conclusion that DeMar is going to be with the Kings. Am I the only one that totally remembers how I've been a fan for a long time, and that was some of the most boring basketball at the end of games when give the ball to DeMar, he takes over. It's just him, and that's it, and everybody else is standing around, and that's the way it was for how many games towards the end of the season. And I just couldn't watch it anymore. It has nothing to do with him. I know he's a good player, but he's so ball dominant. And the Kings they're not a good fit. I can't take another season with him here.
Daniel,
it's just boring basketball.
Real quick, Daniel, does adding a point guard like Dennis Schroeder change any of that for you? Kind of like DeMar doesn't have to have the basketball in his hands the whole time?
I don't think so. I think he's going to end up with the ball at the end of the games anyways. Because the guy does score, man. He scores a lot of points, but it's so boring.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Daniel. Yeah, buckle up.
Yeah, I don't.
I think it's going to be more ISO heavy this year.
I'm going to keep. I don't hate DeMar DeRozan. I don't know. Like it was fine with me last year. It was just more of a Kings roster problem than it was a DeMar DeRozan problem. And
how so?
Well, it was just like, what did you expect? Like DeMar DeRozan did his thing last year, and you brought in DeMar DeRozan to go play with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. That blew up, and then I just became important at work accidentally. Like he became that meme. Like he was not.
But he was doing that before.
Well, yeah, but like you needed that. Like you needed,
was
bringing in. I don't want to rehash old stuff, but it's like bringing in DeMar I didn't hate. It's the fact that you didn't do anything else after that.
Here's the problem. It's not DeMar DeRozan. It's not DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
It is that the Kings didn't have the pieces last year to run the offense that people like Daniel want them to run.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have the pieces to do that exciting flow offense, back cuts, spray threes, like Beam Team 1 in the 22-23 season. They didn't have the personnel to do that.
Yeah.
They had the personnel to dribble the air out of the ball and put up tough mid-range jumpers because that's what your offense becomes when you have DeMar DeRozan on it.
Yeah.
And so if that's not your bag, I can see where you're just kind of out. But I don't think it's going to get any better this year, especially if you're trading for Jonathan Kuminga.
Well, but yeah, like it's just that's the thing though. You're not building out a future with DeMar. He's a culture guy right now. Not in the sense
Is
where
he?
like, not in the
How?
sense. Hold on. Not in the sense where like he's on the bench. He's like, oh come on guys, he's the vet off the bench. But just more so, you're trying to build something elsewhere with him as well. Like he's gonna get his 20 a game and all that stuff. But you're also trying to like he's here for another reason too.
What culture is DeMar DeRozan setting?
Well, we're just trying to get like just. I mean, as far as like just doing things the right way and all that, like we've seen him speak and just how he's gone about his career, just doing things the right way. That's something that this team has missed.
I see.
Like you need leaders. This team doesn't have leaders either.
I don't think that's him though. I don't think DeMar DeRozan is that guy.
What do you think?
And if you're
pulling up to work and going home? I don't see. I think
he was on the team last year talking about how if De'Aaron gets traded, he's got some things to think about this summer.
Yeah, now he's going to be back, it seems.
Yeah?
That's how it seems.
Is that
like if he's here, I don't think he's going to be.
No, I don't disagree with you. Yeah. I don't think you're understanding. Or I'm not communicating this properly. I don't think that DeMar DeRozan is such a big influence on the culture and what Doug Christie and Scott Perry are trying to build that you just have to keep him around. I think they keep him around because Doug's like, hey, this guy is good. Or Scott Perry's like, hey, this guy, you know what? He's going to give me 20 a night. Yeah, I'll keep that guy on my team.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both.
Heart, hustle, grit, grind, tough, grimy defense, playing the right way offensively. Like, that doesn't scream DeMar DeRozan to me.
I think it's a little bit of both because I just don't see keeping him around just for the sake of he's good. Like, no, go get something for him right now. Like, I don't get just
unless they can't.
Well, I guess there's that aspect too, but I don't know. From what was the rumors and all that, it was once KD goes, DeMar DeRozan could be a lot of teams' second choice. So to me, that seemed like he had a market. And if he did have a market, but you're choosing to hold on to him, I'm assuming that's because like you think he's a great player, but also you think he can help build some here.
I guess.
For the short time that he's going to be here. But I think that's the line of thinking that they're thinking.
I think that's extremely risky.
I don't disagree. I would have traded DeMar DeRozan this year. I would have traded him.
Yeah. On the Kaminga thing. Again, we've got to exist in gray area.
Yeah.
The Warriors aren't trying to get rid of him because he's bad at basketball. The Warriors are trying to get rid of him because he doesn't fit what they're doing. They're trying to maximize a window that is Steph Curry years wide. Whether that is one more year of him being effective or 2 or 3, everything they're doing is about maximizing that window. Which is why to the Warriors, Jonathan Kaminga, to their team, doesn't have as much value. Because, yeah, he can come off the bench, he can give you 30 in a playoff game. But Steve Kerr does not view that as winning basketball. He doesn't think, I believe, he doesn't think Jonathan Kuminga plays winning basketball. Mm. So he can't help maximize this Steph Curry-sized window. So they're looking to move off of him for something that can help this Steph Curry-sized window. I would think that Golden State believes there's more of a chance of Kaminga helping / boosting his value enough that they can actually get something for him at the deadline on a shorter term deal than Devin Carter would help them.
Yeah, I also think that's something you just got to tell yourself too, because it's like, yeah, you don't want to end up with Devin Carter because it's like, oh, yeah, we messed up this whole Kaminga situation.
Right.
But in reality, also, it's like you tell yourself that, but like you're going another year with a guy who doesn't fit.
And on the other hand, there are the Kings, and you'd also understand why the Kings wouldn't want to be like, hey, we're going to give up the farm for this guy, especially because of the way the base year compensation stuff works. You can't even unload like a big contract for him. So I get what the Kings are doing and going, hey, can we get that guy for next to nothing?
Yeah.
But I also understand why Golden State, even though they don't want him there, he doesn't want to be there, is like, we're not going to just give him away.
It's both teams calling each other's bluff at this point.
Yes.
Because it's like, sure, the Warriors, yeah, go ahead and hold on to him, pay him that money. Go ahead and keep the guy that you don't want, that doesn't fit and all that stuff. And yeah, that's surely going to drive up his value. No, it's not.
Yeah.
And the Kings, it's like, you're just kind of waiting, hoping you can get over on him.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to end anytime soon.
Yeah.
This feels like a thing that's going to drag out for a long time. And I hope the Kings aren't putting other things on hold, seeing if Kaminga will become available for their offer.
Yeah.
And maybe they're not. Maybe they're like, hey, we're just kind of waiting on this to finalize some pieces of...
Because it's like we talked about